Hello, everyone. We are continuing Ramona the Pest. We're on chapter 4. Remember, chapter 4 is titled The Substitute. There is a substitute teacher in Ramona's kindergarten class, and Ramona refuses to go inside the class. So remember, she's hiding outside and she's trying to listen in to see what's happening. And she did hear them singing the Donzer song. When she says Donzer song, excuse me, it's the Star Spangled Banner, right? She just calls it that. But she's trying to listen and she doesn't hear anything after that. She wonders if the substitute teacher knows what to do next. So we're finishing chapter 4 today. Here we go. The space between the brick wall and the trash cans began to feel as cold as a refrigerator to Ramona in her thin sweater. The asphalt dug into her knees, so she sat down with her feet straight out towards Ribsy's nose. The minutes dragged by. Except for Ribsy, Ramona was alone. Do we remember who Ribsy is? The dog? She leaned against the chill red bricks and felt sorry for herself. Poor little Ramona, all alone except for Ribsy, behind the trash cans. Miss Binny would be sorry if she knew what she had made Ramona do. She would be sorry if she knew how cold and lonesome Ramona was. Ramona felt so sorry for the poor shivering little child behind the trash cans that one tear and then another slid down her cheeks. She sniffed pitifully. Ribsy opened one eye and looked at her before he closed it again. Not even Henry's dog cared what happened to her. After a while, Ramona heard the kindergarten running and laughing outside. How disloyal. Everyone was to have so much fun when Miss Binny had deserted her class. Ramona wondered if the kindergarten missed her and if anyone else would chase Davy and try to kiss him. Then Ramona must have dozed off, because the next thing she knew, recess time had come and the playground was swarming with shouting, yelling, ball-throwing older boys and girls. Ribsy was gone. Stiff with cold, Ramona hunched down as low as she could. A ball bounced with a bang against a trash can. Ramona shut her eyes and hoped that if she could not see anyone, no one could see her. Footsteps came running towards the ball. "Hey!" exclaimed a boy's voice. "There's a little kid hiding back here." Ramona's eyes flew open. "Go away," she said fiercely to the strange boy, who was peering over the cans at her. "What are you doing hiding back there for?" asked the boy. "Go away," ordered Ramona. "Hey, Huggins," yelled the boy, "there's a little kid back here who lives over near you." In a moment, Henry was peering over the trash cans at Ramona. "What are you doing there?" he demanded. "You're supposed to be in kindergarten." "You mind your own business," said Ramona. Naturally, when two boys peered behind the trash cans, practically the whole school had to join them to see what was so interesting. "What's she doing?" people asked. "How come she's hiding? Does her teacher know she's here?" In the midst of all the excitement, Ramona felt a new discomfort. "Find her sister," someone said. "Get Beatrice. She'll know what to do." No one had to find Beezus. She was already there. "Ramona Geraldine Quimby," she said. "You come out of there this minute." "I won't," said Ramona, even though she knew she could not stay there much longer. "Ramona, you just wait until Mother hears about this," stormed Beezus. "You're really going to catch it." Ramona knew that Beezus was right, but catching it from her mother was not what was worrying her at the moment. "Here comes the yard teacher," someone said. Ramona had to admit defeat. She got to her hands and knees and then to her feet and faced the crowd across the trash can lids as the yard teacher came to investigate the commotion. "Don't you belong in kindergarten?" the yard teacher asked. "I'm not going to kindergarten," said Ramona stubbornly and cast an anguished glance at Beezus. Oh my. She's supposed to be in kindergarten, said Beezus, but she needs to go to the bathroom. The older boys and girls thought this remark was funny, which made Ramona so angry she wanted to cry. There was nothing funny about it at all. And if she didn't hurry, the yard teacher turned to Beezus, take her to the bathroom and then to the principal's office. She'll find out what the trouble is. The first words were a relief to Ramona, but the second, a shock. No one in the morning kindergarten had ever been sent to Miss Mullen's office in the big building, except to deliver a note from Miss Binney. And then the children went in pairs because the errand was such a scary one. What will the principal do to me? Ramona asked as Beezus led her away to the girls' bathroom in the big building. I don't know, said Beezus. Talk to you, I guess, or call mother. Ramona, why did you have to go and do a dumb thing like hiding behind the trash cans? Because Ramona was cross, since Beezus was so cross. When the girls came out of the bathroom, Ramona reluctantly allowed herself to be led into the principal's office, where she felt small and frightened, even though she tried not to show it. This is my little sister Ramona, Beezus explained to Miss Mullen's secretary in the outer office. She belongs in kindergarten, but she's been hiding behind the trash cans. Miss Mullen must have overheard because she came out of her office. Frightened though she was, Ramona braced herself to say, I won't go back to kindergarten. Why, hello, Ramona, said Miss Mullen. That's all right, Beatrice. You may go back to your class. I'll take over. Ramona wanted to stay close to her sister, but Beezus walked out of the office, leaving her alone with the principal, the most important person in the whole school. Ramona felt small and pitiful, with her knees still marked where the asphalt had gouged her. Miss Mullen smiled, as if Ramona's behavior was of no particular importance, and said, Isn't it too bad Miss Binney had to stay home with a sore throat? I know what a surprise it was for you to find a strange teacher in your kindergarten class. Ramona wondered how Miss Mullen knew so much. The principal did not even bother to ask what Ramona was doing behind the trash cans. She did not feel the least bit sorry for the poor little girl with the gouged knees. She simply took Ramona by the hand and said, I'm going to introduce you to Mrs. Wilcox. I know you're going to like her, and started out the door. Ramona felt a little indignant because Miss Mullen did not demand to know why she had been hiding all that time. Miss Mullen did not even notice how forlorn and tear-stained Ramona looked. Ramona had been so cold and lonely and miserable that she thought Miss Mullen should show some interest. She had half expected the principal to say, Why, you poor little thing, why were you hiding behind the trash cans? The looks on the faces of the morning kindergarten when Ramona walked into the room with the principal made up for Miss Mullen's lack of concern. Round eyes, open mouths, face blank with surprise. Ramona was delighted to see the whole class staring at her from their seats. They were worried about her. They cared what had happened to her. Ramona, this is Miss Binney's substitute, Miss Wilcox, said Miss Mullen. To the substitute, she said, Ramona is a little late this morning. That was all. Not a word about how cold and miserable Ramona had been. Not a word about how brave she had been to hide until recess. Oh, this is a picture of her entering the principal's office. I forgot to show you that. Not a word about how brave she had been to hide until recess. I'm glad you're here, Ramona, said Miss Wilcox as the principal left. The class is drawing with crayons. What would you like to draw? Here it was seat work time, and Mrs. Wilcox was not even having the class do real seat work, but letting them draw pictures as if this day were the first day of kindergarten. Ramona was most disapproving. Things were not supposed to be this way. She looked at Howie scrubbing away with a blue crayon to make a sky across the top of his paper, and at Davy, who was drawing a man whose arms seemed to come out of his ears. They were busy and happy, drawing whatever they pleased. I would like to make cues, said Ramona, on sudden inspiration. Make use of what? Asked Miss Wilcox, holding out a sheet of drawing paper. Ramona had been sure all along that the substitute would not be smart as Miss Binny, but at least she expected her to know what the letter Q was. All grown-ups were supposed to know Q. Nothing, Ramona said, as she accepted the paper and pleasantly self-conscious under the odd stares of the kindergarten, went to her seat. At last, Ramona was free to draw her cue her own way. Forgetting the loneliness and discomfort of the morning, she drew a most satisfying row of cues, Ramona style, and decided that having a substitute teacher was not so bad after all. So look at those cues she's drawing. They don't really look like cues, right? She's giving them whiskers and ears. Mrs. Wilcox wandered up and down the aisle looking at the pictures. Why, Ramona, she said, pausing by Ramona's desk. What charming little cats you've drawn. Do you have kittens at home? Ramona felt sorry for poor Miss Wilcox, a grown-up lady teacher who did not know the letter Q. No, she said, our cat is a boy cat. And that's the chapter, boys and girls. Next time we read together, we'll be reading chapter 5, Ramona's engagement ring. Oh, engagement ring. Remember, an engagement ring is like your wedding ring when you're going to get married to someone. Okay, so we'll see what happens with Ramona then.